this is my video about this. This is a 60 horsepower Suzuki 2014 outboard, which I have just bought on eBay. It's been sunk. It sat in the water for about 6 hours. It came out. I don't know what happened to it after it came out, whether it's been pickled or whether it was just left to sit. I do know that it's seized. It doesn't seem to be covered in salt on the outside, so it does seem like it's had some kind of treatment, but we'll find out. I expect we're going to have to take the whole engine apart. When we lift the cover off, we can see the engine actually looks really tidy. It looks really clean. It doesn't look like it's been in the water, but obviously it has. So I think someone's probably given it a good wash down, and it just highlights what a shame it is really that it went for a swim. You can see the signs though when you start looking deeper. That's me that's pulled the ECU out there. You start looking inside the fuse box. We can see corrosion in there. So sorry for the light reflecting on the screen, but we're just looking inside the combustion chamber now, and we can see quite clearly loads of salt water. Loads of rust. Okay, so we've established that the engine is going to need tearing down, so that's what I'm going to do. I've already started removing some of the bits and pieces, so I've removed the electrics from this side, just need to get those away completely now. I've taken off the inlet manifold from the other side. I've removed the starter motor. I've actually started breaking the starter motor down and laying it in some white vinegar for now to try and get rid of some of the corrosion. I noticed one of the electrical connectors on here has got very hot. So you can see here it's got very hot and has started to melt, and that has actually left some black marking on the case here. Now I suspect the reason for that is that someone has tried to start the engine while it's been seized. The starter motor has got hot. Someone who's just, decided to keep on trying even though the engine's locked up. So for now I'm going to finish off removing the wiring, then I'm going to take off the flywheel and the magneto under there. Then I'm going to remove any remaining bits of pipe work, and then I'm kind of ready to start getting ready to split it. It's almost like a cake, it's got lots of different layers. So we're going to go as high as we can. I'm not going to bother removing anything from this lower section. I'm going to go literally from this layer here, and under here is the oil bath for the timing chain. So we can take it off from there, get the timing chain off, then get the head off, and then we can have a look at what's inside, which is probably not going to be too nice, but we'll find out. So I'm just going to drain off this, loosened off this sump bolt, and now I'm going to just drain off the oil. Now I don't know whether this has been done already by someone who pulled the engine out, but I'd be interested to see what's going to come out. Obviously oil sits on top of water, so we may end up having a whole load of salt water come out of it first and then oil afterwards, so we may have nothing. But let's have a look. So it'll give us an indication as to how much salt water has got into the crankcase. That is very thin. It's very thin, and it's white. So I would expect that there is plenty of salt water in there. So here it is, pretty simple little device really. It is actually supposed to have a little ball on the end of it, but I haven't got long enough bolts to do that. It only comes with these ones, and so I'm going to have to do it without the ball tip. But the idea is it holds onto the flywheel. I've loosened off the flywheel bolt just a little bit. There's a couple of mil gap in there, which hopefully should be enough just to crack it off. So I just tighten this nut up at the top, or this bolt, sorry, and that should pull the flywheel off. So we'll see how it goes. Just removing the rocker cover for the first time. See what we got inside. Okay, that could be worse. We can see there is some corrosion, or some rust, sorry, in places, but that is minor. Actually, on the whole, I don't think we could have hoped, or I don't think we could have asked for a lot more than that, really. I think that'll all clean up okay. So, good piece of news. And down here as well, we can see as well, timing gear all appears to be, at least at this end, okay. Right, let's press on taking it apart then. So now that we've got the rocker cover off, we've basically undressed the engine all the way around. So what we're now going to do is we're going to be removing, you can see here, so we've got the first layer here where it joins the leg, so this is the sump here, and then we've got another layer here, this here is called the adapter plate, and then we've got another layer here where we've got the engine, and you can see here this line, and that's where we're going to split it. So we're going to be lifting the power head off, but leaving the bottom half of the wet sump for the timing gear on the engine holder. So we need to identify which of these bolts we need to remove, because obviously we don't want to remove all of them, we just need to remove the ones that we want to. Some of them go all the way down to the bottom through multiple layers, so we have to identify which of those we're going to remove. Once we've got all of that done, it's just an instant gasket that sits between these two layers. There's no actual proper gasket in there. So we'll undo all of these, then we'll get the crane, and hopefully we should be able to lift the power head off, get it on the bench, and then we can move on to removing the cylinder head. And that's it for this video. In the next video we'll get the cylinder head off, we'll start stripping the engine down and send the block off to be refurbished and bored out to a new size. Then we'll start stripping down the cylinder head and look at reseating the valves. This is going to be a 4-part video, so if you're interested in watching this through to the end and seeing me eventually start it up, hopefully, then please just click subscribe and you'll get notified as each video is released. Thanks for watching.